Hi, this is Rob Rene, reading Job 32 through 35. So here we are, chapter 32. Then these three men ceased answering Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. But the anger of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite of the family of Ram, burned. Against Job his anger burned because he justified himself before God. And his anger burned against his three friends because they had found no answer and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited to speak to Job because they were years older than he. And when Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of the three men, his anger burned. So Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, spoke out and said, I am young in my years, and you are old. Therefore I was shy and afraid to tell you what I think. I thought age should speak, and increased years should teach wisdom. But it is a spirit in a man, and the breath of the Almighty gives them understanding. The abundant in years may not be wise, nor many elders understand justice. So I say, listen to me. I too will tell what I think. Behold, I waited for your words. I listened to your reasonings, while you pondered what to say. I paid close attention to you. Indeed, there was no one who refuted Job, no one of you who answered his words. Do not say, we have found wisdom. God will rout him, not man, for he has not arranged his words against me, nor will I reply to him with your arguments. They are dismayed, they no longer answer. Words have failed them. Shall I wait, because they do not speak? Because they stop and no longer answer? I too will answer my share. I also will tell my opinion, for I am full of words. The spirit within me constrains me. Behold, my belly is like unvented wine. The new wineskins is about to burst. Let me speak that I might have relief. Let me open my lips and answer. Let me now be partial to no one, nor flatter any man. For I do not know how to flatter, else my Maker would soon take me away. Chapter 33. However, now, Job, please hear my speech, and listen to all my words. Behold now, I open my mouth, my tongue in my mouth speaks. My words are from the uprightness of my heart, and my lips speak knowledge sincerely. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Refute me if you can. Array yourselves before me. Take your stand. Behold, I belong to God like you. I too have been formed out of the clay. Behold, no fear of me should terrify you, nor should my pressure weigh heavily on you. Surely you have spoken in my hearing, and I've heard the sound of your words. I am pure, without transgression. I am innocent, and there is no guilt in me. Behold, he invents pretexts against me. He counts me as his enemy. He puts my feet in the stocks, but he watches all my paths. Behold, let me tell you, you are not right in this, for God is greater than man. Why do you complain against him, that he has not given an account of all his doings? Indeed, God speaks once or twice, yet no one notices it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when sound sleep falls on men, while they slumber in their beds. Then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction, that he may turn man aside from his conduct and keep man from his pride. He keeps back his soul from the pit and his life from passing over into Sheol. Man is also chastened with pain on his bed and with unceasing complaint in his bones. So does his life loathe bread and his soul favorite food. His flesh wastes away from sight, and his bones which are not seen stick out. Then his soul draws near the pit, and his life to those who bring death. If there's an angel as mediator for him, 1 out of 1,000, to remind a man what is right for him, then let him be gracious to him and say, deliver him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. Let his flesh become fresher than in youth. Let him return to the days of his youthful vigor. Then he will pray to God, and he will accept him, that he may see his face with joy, and he may restore his righteousness to man. He will sing to men and say, I have sinned and perverted what is right, and is not proper for me. He has redeemed my soul from going to the pit, and my life shall see the light. Behold, God does all these oftentimes with men, to bring back his soul from the pit, that he may be enlightened with the light of life. Pay attention, O Job. Oh, listen to me. Keep silent and let me speak. Then if you have anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify you. If not, listen to me. Keep silent, and I will teach you wisdom. Chapter 34. Then Elihu continued and said, Hear my words, you wise men, and listen to me, you who know. For the ear tests words, and the plate tastes food. Let us choose ourselves what is right. Let us know among ourselves what is good. For Job has said, I am righteous, but God has taken away my right. Should I lie concerning my right? My wound is incurable, though I am without transgression. What man is like Job, who drinks up derision like water, who goes in company with the workers of iniquity, and walks with wicked men? For he has said, It profits a man nothing when he is pleased with God. Therefore listen to me, you men of understanding. Far be it from God to do wickedness, from the Almighty to do wrong. For he pays a man according to his work, and makes him find it according to his way. Surely God will not act wickedly, and the Almighty will not pervert justice. Who gave him authority over the earth, and who has laid on him the whole world? If he should determine to do so, if he should gather to himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh would perish together, and man would return to dust. But if you have understanding, hear this. Listen to the sound of my words. Shall one who hates justice rule? And will you condemn the righteous mighty one? Who says to the king, worthless one, to nobles, wicked ones, who shows no partiality to princes, no regards for the rich above the poor, for they all are the work of his hands. In a moment they die, and midnight people are shaken and pass away, and the mighty are taken away without a hand. For his eyes upon the ways of a man, and he sees all of his steps. There is no darkness or deep shadow, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. For he does not need to consider a man further than he should go before God in judgment. He breaks to pieces mighty men without inquiry, and sets others in their place. Therefore he knows their works, and he overthrows them in the night, and they are crushed. He strikes them like the wicked in a public place, because they turned aside from following him, and had no regard for any of his ways, so that they caused the cry of the poor to come to him, and that he might hear the cry of the afflicted. When he keeps quiet, who then can condemn? And when he hides his face, who then can behold him? That is, in regard to both nation and man. So that godless men would not rule, nor be snares of the people. For as anyone said to God, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend any more. Teach me what I do not see. If I have done iniquity, I shall not do it again. Shall he recompense on your terms? Because you have rejected it? For he must choose, and not I. Therefore declare what you know. Men of understanding will say to me, and a wise man who hears me, Job speaks without knowledge, and his words are without wisdom. Job ought to be tried to the limit, because he answers like wicked men, for he adds rebellion to his sin. He claps his hands among us, and multiplies his words against God. All right, chapter 35. Then Elihu continued and said, Do you think this is according to justice? Do you say my righteousness is more than God's? For you say, What advantage will it be to you? What profit will I have more than if I had sinned? I will answer you and your friends with you. Look at the heavens and see, and behold the clouds, they are higher than you. If you have sinned, what do you accomplish against him? And if your transgressions are many, what do you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give to him? Or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness is for a man like yourself, and your righteousness is for a son of man. Because of the multitude of oppressions, they cry out. They cry for help because of the arm of the mighty. But no one says, where is God my maker, who gives song in the night, who teaches us more than the beasts of the earth, and makes us wiser than the birds of the heavens? There they cry out, but he does not answer, because of the pride of evil men. Surely God will not listen to an empty cry, nor will Almighty regard it. How much less when you say you do not behold him, the case is before him, and you must wait for him. And now, because he has not visited in his anger, nor has he acknowledged transgression well, so Job opens his mouth emptily. He multiplies words without knowledge.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to Fear into Faith Global Bible Revival, where we are on a mission to get 1 million people to read the Word of God cover to cover in a year. I'm your host, Summer Day, and with me in the studio is Rob Rene.
Yay!
Dun, 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 dun.
So glad to be here. What a blessing.
I'm glad to have you. Now, I feel like you're a special anointed kind of crazy because you're sitting in that chair,
Yes,
but it was less than 24 hours ago that you even heard about the show. Or
Yes, exactly.
how did you end up
It's
here?
amazing how God works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a good friend, Amy, and I were at the lunch yesterday. She's like, I'm doing this recording. And we're like, wow, that's really cool. So that's really neat. And so one of the things that I'm really passionate about this last year especially is the Word of God and trying to instill it into my daily routine and is learn it. Yeah. And I was like, that's really cool. So I said, tell me more about it. She told me more about it. And then she's like, hey, do you want to read it? I'm like, what? I said, are you crazy? She's like, no, they haven't opened. And I said, just felt the calling to say yes. And so it was really out of my character to do something like this, because if you would have asked me a couple of years ago if I was a Christian, I might say yes. But I was more a closet Christian.
Wow.
Came from Oregon a few years ago, just moved to Dallas a couple of years ago. And so I'm not used to talking about my faith and being comfortable enough in my knowledge and about the Lord and about my faith to talk about it. So for me to sit here is a miracle in and of itself.
I love it. We're gonna unpack that more. That's so good. So the Lord's just stretching you.
Yeah,
I love your honesty. You're like, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm kind of thinking, what are you doing?
Right. It's like, what the heck?
Well, we're gonna get into some of that stuff a little bit more. But tell everybody where you're from and what you do.
Sounds great. So I live now in Dallas area, in Texas. I lived in Oregon for 30 plus years and didn't think I'd ever move away from there. I was in the Portland metro area for 25 years and moved into Bend, Oregon, which is one of the most beautiful places in the country, and thought, hey, this is paradise.
Yeah.
I love it here, and it was amazing, and I thought that that's where I was going to stay, but the Lord had different plans for me. And just about 2 years ago, my brother and I started a business together, and it just made sense for us to be closer together. And so the Lord orchestrated a way where just like things became uncomfortable in Oregon. It was like we should move, and so we decided to take a leap of faith. And literally, the Lord led us here to Dallas. So
I hear that all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. I mean, the Lord led us here to the Fort Worth, Dallas area.
Right.
And I hear that from a lot of people, that they just felt this tug, this call to be here. So I don't know what all the Lord's doing, but God, big plans.
He is doing amazing things. And the people that I've met just the last 2 years of here, it's all God. It literally is. And the business that we started was people that were from near here. And it just literally everything that is happening is by his work.
It's so good. Let's talk a little bit about your business.
Sounds great.
Tell us about this business, you and your brother.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's literally the Lord led me to this technology. We were working on his podcast. He has a video podcast, and I was helping him behind the scenes, and it was like, how can we help people? Right, with all this medical stuff was going on with the pandemic, and we're like, how do we just help people? And so we were doing research on how to help people. And I'm like, well, let's we both talked about it. So let's create supplements for people. We'll help them with natural things. We saw a lot of things were going on with the suppression of information and the suppression of healthy solutions, where it's like, this is bad, so let's just see if we can do something. So I went and met with the awesome man of God who was helping me craft these supplements. And one day he comes and says, have you heard of quantum energy before? And I'm like, quantum what?
That's what I was going to say. Quantum what?
Exactly. So obviously, no, I hadn't, right? And so he introduced us to this mad, I call him the mad scientist, because he he's the guy behind the screen, the screen he's been hiding for 30 years.
Yeah.
But he introduced to this gentleman. He's been working on this research and technology for 30 years and has developed these amazing solutions. And it's a skin patch that you put on your body that has no medicine in it, but connects to the energy system in your body. And it helps with common ailments, like pain relief is our marquee product. So it literally helps relieve pain just by putting, it's a patch on your body.
So awesome.
And it's just the most cool thing, because he is a man of God and of faith, and we literally put Bible verses onto the patch.
That's
positive intentions on the patch.
Good.
It's really, really unique and different. And I just we wanted to first test it out with our community. So, okay, really, that sounded really weird to me. I'm like, I don't know about this. And so we tried it with our community, and we got such great results that we're just like, we had to take this out to the world.
So good.
And so we created a company called QE Strong for Quantum Energy Strong, and we're just a small company, but we're out just spreading the word and trying to help people get off of big pharma drugs. That's our heart.
Yeah, I love that about the pain patch, because obviously, like the opiate crisis in this country is huge. People that are getting addicted to these pain meds, and there's all kinds of other side effects and everything, and even a Tylenol side effects to that. And so you guys have created something that just a patch goes on. There's no side effects or anything like that. Amen.
Yes, it's so cool. One of the things that I've been working on is a project to be a book that I'm writing that will be out early next year, and I'm starting a podcast and stuff we can talk about in a few minutes. But the reason why I mentioned that is just the research I was doing. It's like the average senior today is on 15. They take 15 prescription medications in a year period. 15. That's like ridiculous. And then my brother was just at one of the old person's homes, or what do you call them? The senior care centers. And the owner of that facility was talking to him. He's like, that not only do they take 15 in a year, but my average patient is taking 15 a day. At his facility. Wow. And it's just so the problem with our medical system today is that they're specialized, so they're really good at fixing, one problem. And then you go get that problem fixed, and guess what? There's lots of other things that it causes, and then you take something else that fixes that.
You have to take the pill for that, but then there's a side effect, so you got to take the pill for the side effect.
And that's really, really common. And it's just a really bad thing that we've gotten ourselves into as a country, I think, that is bad. And we're trying to help people with that.
I love it. So. Okay, I did interview your brother, so I heard there's a pain patch. You said there's one for allergies that I'm like, give me all of them. Let's go. What are some of the other ones that?
Yeah, we have 14 different solutions. So probably in order of the order is like pain relief is just our most common one, because people know when they're in pain. And allergies, weight loss is another big one.
Probably huge.
So because people want to lose weight naturally, right? Rather than take drugs. So weight loss is good. Our allergy one we mentioned, the anti-anxiety is one that is really good, because there's just so much anxious. The way our world is today, you're automatically anxious, right? Just with what's going on. So to put the joy and peace of the Lord into your body and get you not as stressed out is a really important thing.
Oh, I know something else your brother mentioned is like you guys have prayers and stuff. So it's like put the patch on and then We've got prayers for you to say. I mean, you guys are all about this.
Yeah,
Even getting the word in people.
It's holistic, right? Because
So good.
it's so important that we use, like I call it the multisensory approach to a problem. So if you are taking our pain patch, for example, or let's just take your allergy patch. Let's say you have allergies, like, okay.
I'm actually going to pause you right there. Leave everyone hanging.
All right.
You're going to have to come back right after this, and then you're going to hear all the details. Come on. You have all the power within you to say no to fear. The world can't wait. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. You are not going to leave here in fear. Fear gets to go in Jesus' name. We're back, my friend, with Rob Rene, and you were in the middle of about to unpack kind of the details of this system. Tell us more.
Right. So I call it the multisensory solution to a health problem. So like our allergy one, for example, it's simple. You take our skin patch and you apply a little patch on your body.
Okay.
My older brother who has allergies was a Claritin D user for 10 years. Every single day he would take Claritin D. He's also very pessimistic person. So
good person to test it out
exactly. So he was like
wise choice,
the ideal candidate. He's like, I heard you guys have an allergy product. We're like, yeah, I want you to try it.
Wow.
So he tried it, and he likes to put it on his elbow, and he puts it there. He knows he has it on for the day, and he goes out. But the other things I wanted to explain is the patch connects to the energy system in your body. And I'll explain that a little bit more in detail in a minute. But the other thing that is so cool about it is that we include a prayer guide that we want you to use your mouth to say it out loud, using your eyes to read it, and your ears to hear yourself say it. So you combine those three senses with the patch. You're using 4 out of your 5 God-given senses to help you with your problem. I would just need to do like a scratch and sniff or something.
There you go.
We can get
it's straight out like it's Proverbs. Set to life and the power of the tongue.
It is.
When your brother shared this with me, I remember being in 4th or 5th grade where we did this science experiment.
Yes.
Where you had the 2 sets of plants.
Oh, yes.
And
I love this conversation.
We were yelling at these plants and telling them how much we hated them and they were ugly. And then we were playing beautiful music and we were praising them. And these are the plants that thrived and these are the plants that didn't.
It literally works. It's so amazing.
So you're doing that with people.
We are.
Doing the prayers, all of that.
I didn't believe any of this stuff. I'm like, come on. This is, I thought it was crazy, right? Like most people do. But once you explain it to them and you talk about experiments like that, and then you have people go look up Dr. Emoto and what his research he's done on water and the amazing crystals and his rice experiments. Great. It's so cool, right? And then you're like, okay. And the one thing I love about his experiments, he did one on prayer. Literally, he had 500 people pray over a bottle of water. And that bottle of water, the crystals turn into beautiful crystals just by prayer.
Because God's word is not returnable.
So
there's power in there's power in the word. There's power in prayer.
There is, and that's what's so exciting is that we're combining all of that with the natural quantum energy product that connects to the energy system in your body and then has the power of intentions. So we literally have positive intentions, and we have Bible verses and the positive frequencies all on this little patch.
Wow.
And this little patch does connect to the energy
Can't wait to check it out.
Your body, because your body is made up of energy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Right? But then you start researching that, and the way our body is made, when you even at the down to the cellular level, it interacts with itself with frequencies. So frequencies are, some people think frequencies are weird. But frequencies are not weird because they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
Like
they're everywhere.
You listen.
They're like radio waves. They're microwaves.
Right?
They're all there.
Right?
All the frequencies.
So they're
people are watching TV right now through the frequencies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Color and sound is for frequencies, etc. So once they realize, okay, frequencies aren't weird, and then you learn that your body is made up of energy and it interacts with frequencies, both good and bad.
Yeah.
Right? There's bad frequencies and there's good frequencies. So we encompass these healthy frequencies and positive intentions and Bible verses on these patches, and when you apply them to your body, it literally is flowing through the energy system in your body. It's just so awesome.
So good. You have a website, right, where people can check it out?
So it's QE Strong for Quantum Energy Strong is the name of the company. And it's just really fun because we're transforming people's health naturally and faithfully.
So good. I love it.
It's
Okay.
exciting.
So you said yes to this project. You're like,
Yes.
big yes. I don't even know what it is, but I'm
Right,
jumping in.
right.
And then you came here.
Yes.
So you filmed your episodes.
I did.
What was it like sitting in the hot seat, reading the Bible?
It was amazing. My brother has been my mentor my entire life, and he is the man of God in our family, in the respect that he's the one who's read the Bible the most and does research and has created these courses on the Bible. And I've always been the one that's later on I figure it out. And I finally figured it out. In the last couple of years, I've been on fire for the Lord, so it's been really fun for me to dig in and just understand how impactful and real the Lord is. And if you really submit yourself and fully to the Lord, that he will work with you. And I've been able to do that. The last probably 2 years I've been here in Texas, I've become a totally different person.
Okay, I want to talk about that in a minute. But how did you feel sitting in that chair?
Yeah, so that's what I was getting to. It was like, he is like, it's natural for him. For me, it's like, oh, what am I doing? Are you kidding me? I'm sitting there reading the Bible and in front of a camera. This is
Were you
really
nervous?
strange. Yeah, I've tried to be confident, but I'm
sure you were. I'm sure you were fabulous.
All the different difficult words to pronounce,
You never realize how many hard words there are in the Bible until you decide to do a TV show of it, and then you're like, oh.
I was like, I would have said when I said, I was like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, I wish I would have said like maybe a couple weeks. Give me a few weeks to practice.
The Lord wanted you uncomfortable, my friend. That's what he wanted.
He was successful.
So are you married? Do you have kids?
I do. I have a wonderful family. I have a hers, mine, and ours family.
Nice.
So my beautiful wife of almost 25 years now. We're getting this next year will be 25, and we have a wonderful family, grown children. My youngest is our son, who's 25 now.
Wow.
And have my daughter and then her daughter.
I love it.
3 beautiful grandchildren from that.
So good. Well, one of my favorite things to ask everybody is to take me through your God journey, your God adventure, your adventure with the Lord.
Yes.
Did you know God when you were young? Were you raised in the church?
Yeah, we were raised Episcopalians, and so we could go to church. I would say we were a little bit more than Creasters, right? Creasters are the Christmas and Easter people.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one. Creasters. I heard it. They call it a CEO, Christian and Easter only.
Yeah,
Christian.
there you go. So we did go more often than that, but it wasn't just a huge thing in our family, and so it was super boring in my opinion. When we were, the Episcopal Church is like very regiment oriented, and it's just like. One of the jokes in our family is when we got done with church one day, I was like, man, Mom, what's the best about this, about leaving church is that we're done. It's just like, yay, it's over.
Yeah.
And so, I never had this really love for it, but I always felt that I always did believe in God. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't sure, wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And so we did grow up in an area where it was half LDS and half non-LDS, and so my brother and I we literally got a cross to show that we were not Mormons, because that was just showed that we were different people. Now this has an incredibly different meaning to me.
You can check out the rest of this interview right here or by going to BibleRevival.tv. And if this show has blessed you, you can help us bless others by partnering with us for as little as $20 a month and help us to expand the reach of this show. We'd also like to invite you to join our Kingdom Discipleship Program, where you have an opportunity to get on weekly Bible Zoom calls with us and people around the world to deep dive into His Word. And you can check all that out at BibleRevival.tv. I'll see you next time, my friend.